kinds of really cool things today. What are you gonna learn about? What are you gonna learn about? What are you gonna learn about? What are you gonna learn about?
Gettin Learn't.
Gettin Learn't.
Just keep getting.
Gettin Learned. So, what are we talking about today, Hamster?
Well, today it's going to be kind of special because, you know, it's kind of like the October month. So
Spooky.
It's very spooky. So I say it's a good thing to do some like maybe haunted Ohio history.
Yeah, Spooktober.
Let's spook it up, shall we? So, as we all know, you know, up north here we have Mansfield, Ohio. Have you ever been there, Turtle?
Yeah, I was to the prison once.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. So that Mansfield prison, well, it's been in a few episodes, like not in episodes, but it's been like kind of well known, like what, Shawlshank Redemption.
It was on Shawshank, yeah.
But apparently they've also heard of like a lot of like horror stuff. Like obviously we all know that it was like reformatory and there was like prison and all that good fun jazz.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff there. You've been there. It's kind of a maze. It's huge.
I've personally never been there.
Oh, well.
Can you describe a little bit? Like,
dude, when you walk into where all the cells are, it is mind-boggling how huge they are.
Are you serious? Is it like old, like 1920 style, like cell blocks?
It's like 6 or 7 high.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then just open space all around them.
That is creepy.
Like when you stand on the staircase, it's a long drop.
That is really creepy. But apparently, it's also haunted. I believe Ghost Adventure's been there too several times, or maybe once or twice. I don't
imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently people like guards before they close, because now they're closed, right? Like it's no longer,
totally closed. It's completely dilapidated. Like,
do you know when like it was like done being a prison? I think it was like maybe in the 50s, 60s, maybe a little bit post that, maybe 80s. I really don't know myself.
I feel like you should have looked that up.
I probably should have looked that up. but long story short, but apparently like before they closed, guards would hear like conversations of like the cells and like kind of had like that eerie feeling and just feeling of just generally uncomfortable nature. That was been reported several times, but like you said, like they do tours there, correct?
Mm-hmm. And tours are creepy too, man.
Have you done one?
Yeah, because you walk into them, they still have like all the original artwork in the cells of like what people drew.
You're kidding me.
Mm-mm.
That
they're
I'm
crazy.
Getting like a little hamster goosebumps going right now.
It's creepy too. And when you do the tours, like you're the only ones in there.
So it's just you. Like, do you go as a group or is it just?
When I went, it was just I think me and my parents and then a tour guide. And then like there's this phone thing that they give you to listen to that gives you a little bit of info.
Oh, for like per cell?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not per cell, but like per area.
Oh, okay. And I assume they probably just walk you around the room, so to speak, or just like
it's pretty expansive. So once you go in there, there's like plaques on the walls, and then you got this phone thing. All right. Looks like an 80s phone. And then on the wall, it'll have like a 4-digit number. And then you type that in, and then it'll start talking to you.
Like kind of like a historical marker.
And then the creepy thing is sometimes it just randomly starts talking to you.
Is that
probably ghosts?
That probably is. But yeah, like when people now, like you say, now they do take tours. But I believe the prison itself, like you can go there and like do your like ghost adventures. And like I'm assuming there's been orbs spotted there several times from like photographs, things of that sort. So it's pretty active like location, especially for like in the state of Ohio, and obviously pretty well known due to the movies or due to the movie.
Yeah, they leaned a little bit on Shawshank when I was there.
And they just kind of hid the way of like it being hidden or like the hauntedness and all that stuff. That's crazy. But I will say another place that's pretty haunted here in Ohio is actually have you ever heard of Fort Amanda?
No, I haven't.
Fort Amanda, it's actually in the Shawnee area. Little history with Fort Amanda. It actually was part of there was a battle there during the War of 1812. Like you had Native Americans, like against like the Americans, yada, yada, yada. And they actually attacked the fort. There's like 200 and some soldiers that were stationed there, and it was important because it was like right on the river valley, like the Auglaize River, which connects to the Maumee going to the Lake Erie. So it's kind of a strategy of importance. But what happened there? It was a massacre. Native Americans just slaughtered like all the Americans.
So this is a Native American won battle.
Yes, correct. During the War of 1812.
There's a few of those that you hear about.
You're right. There are. And well, here's the spooky thing. And it's kind of weird because growing up in Lima, in Shawnee, like it's not that far from my parents' house. And you hear like if it's foggy or raining, you can see like lights coming out from the distance at dark. And of course, now it's actually a state park, but you've actually, when you're driving by it, it's like really creepy, very, very like you can see like silhouettes of cabins, people kind of like walking the distance. And when people actually went in, just to take a look, there's nobody there.
That's pretty crazy.
That
sounds like a lot of kids that would go out there at night and
with flashlights,
hit one or two and then start seeing things.
Absolutely.
I've seen flashes of lights after.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, so that's
where's that one at again?
What's it called? It's called Fort Amanda.
Fort Amanda.
It's right on the Allen County Auglaize border there, out in Shawnee. Another kind of creepy location. Have you ever heard of the city called Fryeburg, Ohio?
Fryeburg, no. See, I come from places where there's a lot of people.
Yeah, Fryeburg, Ohio is actually not that far from Wapak, Canada. Good old Wapak. And there's like an apartment complex, kind of like or maybe it was a downtown building. I'm not 100% sure, but legend has it that some murder took place in like one of these apartment complexes. Somebody like either committed suicide or was shot or killed. I don't know a time, but it's pretty well known in the Fryeburg area or Fryeburg. I'm pretty sure it's Fryeburg. That this place is allegedly haunted. Like, again, creepy thing, like tables would move, plates would fall, like for those poor residents that were there. So apparently not a lot of people lived there for very long. So
I'd imagine at least it should be rent controlled at the very least.
Right. But yeah, that's another hidden gem that's also here.
What was that town again?
It's called Fryeburg, Ohio.
Fryeburg.
Population of 50.
So anybody that had plans to visit Fryeburg for a week of adventure,
it's right off 33.
That's one of the many things to locate and do in Fryeburg,
Ohio. It's like the only place. Maybe who knows? Maybe they're making this whole thing up, but who knows? But yeah, that's a place down in Fryeburg, Ohio. And actually there's been like a lot of cases here, even in Columbus, like Ohio State University has a numerous. I remember the Lantern, which is the local newspaper. They had a lot of stuff going on. I don't know the name of the oldest building, but apparently they had to like close that off because students would be like seeing ghosts and want to go up there, but hurting themselves in the meantime. It's crazy stuff.
All right, I got one for you.
What's that?
Out in Gratis, Ohio.
Tiny
place. There's a place called Fudge Road Bridge.
All right. You got me intrigued.
All right.
Go on.
So what happened was on Fudge Road Bridge. So there's two stories. There was a young mother threw her newborn off the bridge.
Okay. That's pretty.
That's the first
one. Up right there.
That's the first of two scenarios that happen here.
On the same bridge.
On the bridge on Fudge Road.
Okay.
So the other scenario is that she was pregnant and hung herself.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as you are making your way through Fudge Road, And I hope that when you turn on to Fudge Road, there's enough time after you stop laughing before you pass this bridge. They keep saying that you can keep hearing an infant yelling "Mama" 3 times.
Really?
Just, Mama, Mama.
So there's
Mama.
there has to be like a stop, like right before, just to hear this or something.
In Gratis, Ohio. That's the place.
That is creepy.
Get Fudge Road.
Fudge Road.
Of all of the places for her to pick to do that.
That. Oh man! So it's just the baby. That's.
Yeah. So that's one of the other haunted places in Ohio. There's another place in Carlisle. 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 That's probably it. Yeah.
Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, and all these tiny towns.
Oh,
So, back in the early 1800s, there was this guy named John Wrench
that's kind of a cool name.
who got these 3 guys that were all brothers, the Stanley brothers, to build a flour mill. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This was the first double-wheeled mill in Ohio, in all of Ohio, and still there.
That's been important,
actually. And the mill did really well, so he ended up actually selling it to one of the Staley brothers.
Okay.
And they took it over and kept making flour until 1905.
Oh, wow.
So one of them, though, one named Old Man Staley, doesn't say which one it was. It doesn't even give the names of all of them. But one of them just went on a total murder rampage after a while. Probably
like
because
total serial killer mode. Just
when your whole life is just flour, I can assume there's not much more to do with it.
You're right. That would be a very monotonous, I guess, life.
So, but the weird thing is, it's not just like, it's not sounds or anything. A lot of times they see Old Man Staley laying on the road.
So the dude.
Yeah. So people heading down that road. Again, the oldest double wheel flour mill, because that's something we all know exactly where it is. When you're driving down that road, you might just see a guy laying there.
That is creepy.
That's made a lot of people stop.
I can only imagine. That is creepy. But I got this one. Apparently, have you ever been to Lorraine, Ohio? Ever heard of Lorraine, Ohio?
I think I have. Yeah.
It's out east as well. So apparently, Lorraine Palace Theater is also haunted. I guess it opened back in 1928. It just seats about 1,700 guests. It was the first movie theater in the state to show like talking like pictures, according to like the theater's website. Apparently, like a paranormal investigator or researcher had like brought over like some mediums, and I guess they started investigating the palace. And I guess they advised that there's so many spirits there that they couldn't even count them all. And like apparently they've got a name of a gentleman named Ed who said he worked at the shipyard, which I'm assuming like Lake Erie. I'm guessing because it's near Cleveland. That's my guess. Named Ed, who said he worked at the shipyard. That's profound because the shipyard was directly behind the palace. So
so wait, they were talking to a ghost, and he said, "My name is Ed, and I worked at the shipyard."
Apparently,
that
Ed
is
claimed,
a conversation.
Ed claimed that he was murdered, pushed down the stairs, and that there was a spirit who said he died of like heroin, which I didn't.
Wait, whoa. Was he pushed down the stairs, or did he die of heroin?
I believe this is a different take from a different ghost at the same Palace Theater.
So either it was like a heroin OD, or he got pushed down the stairs. Both of them are pretty sad.
Both, yes.
I can understand why he's still there haunting the place and telling people about where he worked.
He said, and I quote, "My body flew."
It still plays for either. I'm just going to say either a heroin overdose or pushed down the stairs. My body flu plays in either case.
Yeah, so apparently that's the Palace Theater in Lorraine. That's what happened. And I guess like there's another house over in like Dayton, Ohio. It's actually
Well, wait, I found another one in
Oh,
Cleveland
yeah.
actually that I just looked up. So, the Franklin Castle
oh
or
really?
Franklin Castle / Franklin Mansion.
Oh, okay.
Dude, okay. So I was just reading this.
You got me intrigued.
So in the walls, all right, they found like a small room in the back of the house. In the wall, they found a skeleton of a baby.
You know, I don't know about you, but when I watched what is that movie? I can't remember, but it was like a zombie thriller giving birth to like a zombie baby. That creeps me out. I think it's called Dead of the Dawn, Houses of the Dead of the Dawn or something like that. But that stuff creeps me out.
Zombie woman giving birth to a zombie baby.
But anyways, go on. Go on.
So that's not what happened there.
Okay.
It says also in there was in one of the tower rooms there was an axe murder.
An axe murder.
Mm-hmm.
So like very like The Shining-esque.
Yeah. So it keeps going on. This freaking mansion. There was a girl named Karen who was hung by her father.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So she's believed to be the one that's the most activity in the house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It says she's always dressed in all black. She's really tall and thin. And the explanation says very eerie.
That wow, that is.
But it wasn't Karen's baby. The baby, if you go in the back room, it's always crying. But yeah, Franklin Castle's still there for you to check out.
That is crazy. And yeah, and you said that was also near Cleveland?
That was in Cleveland, yeah.
So Lucas, there's another one in Lucas, Ohio, which I believe, I'm not 100% sure where Lucas, Ohio is. I'm just assuming it's in Cleveland. But the Sealy Rose house at the Malbar Farm is allegedly haunted. I guess it's in Richland County near Lucas, Ohio, and I guess it's still a working farm. Apparently, the history dates back more than 100 years before the state owned the land, to a time when the crime was such a great horror and tragedy forever scared place, and occurred to create what some consider the most haunted places in the state. This house is named after a teenage killer who once lived there.
So he lived there, but he didn't do his killings there.
Apparently, as the story has it, I guess it's a little white house, not too far from the main farmhouse at the park. And I guess they confessed to like a neighborhood what she did to her family. Apparently, when a boy she had a crush on and wanted to marry told her that her family didn't want them to wed. So I guess this dude poisoned her, she poisoned her family.
Because they told her, don't marry this dude.
It's very like Romeo and Juliet, but Romeo and Juliet
Romeo and Juliet poisoned each other.
But this is like going that far to poison her family.
That is a pissed off teenager if I ever heard one.
But apparently, they said that they died. She secretly was pouring arsenic water over some cottage cheese that she served them, and her mother,
dude, and cottage cheese. I'm kind of with them though. I mean, if I'm munching, I might just go ahead and eat it, even if I watched it happen. I'll take my chances.
But, oh my goodness. But yeah, apparently she killed Rebecca Rose, who's her mother, her father David Rose, her brother Walter Rose, were all dead within weeks.
That all happened in the house?
All happened in the house.
And that wasn't even... Wait. Just to recap real quick. There was a kid who lived there who was a murderer.
Correct.
But that has nothing to do with the ones that were killed in the house.
That's what I believe. So apparently she was committed to like a mental institute until her death at age 83.
83?
Yeah.
You kill like 4 people with cottage cheese? And they let you die in a mental institute?
As it says that some visitors swear Seeley is still lurking in the house. They've reported hearing ghostly voices or seeing a young woman roaming through the halls or glimpsing someone at the window, probably with cottage cheese.
Would you like some cheese?
I got some arsenic covered cheese for you. Eat it.
Why would she end up back at the house? I don't know. I don't understand ghosts. It's cool. I get it. But dude, I would love to visit that place and just take in some cheese.
Some cottage cheese. That does sound pretty good.
So another one I got for you here.
What's up?
All right. So in Chillicothe. Okay. Chillicothe, there's this place called the Majestic Theater. And it was built in 1852. And this one is one of the most haunted locations in Ohio.
So I thought the last one was the most haunted. So I guess
it's one of.
Gotcha.
So in these days, when you say one of, who knows of how many?
Correct.
Right. So, this one's actually pretty good. So
I'm curious. Do tell.
This is one that I can definitely believe is haunted. So in 1918, you know of the Great Influenza.
Oh yeah, the swine flu or whatever.
Big influenza epidemic.
Yeah.
That was back before we had our. That was
the vaccines.
Like
and all
that was like the original COVID.
Yeah.
Back in 1918. So, what they did was all of the corpses that they couldn't keep in the hospital, they put in the theater.
Wait. Let me. I'm having an image right now. So. The corpses, I'm thinking like Black Death, like Black Plague. All those people moved to the theater.
Yeah, they were dead and got carried in there, rolled in there into the theater.
Okay.
That's what they repurposed as it. Okay.
Okay.
And that was where they processed them too. So when they were processing them, all of the blood and fluids from them, they just dumped in the back alley.
I bet you that smelled wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it was 1918. I'm sure nothing smelled great then.
That's like normal.
But behind it, they call it the Blood Alley. And there's so many sightings there. But of the creepy, like why of all places would you? They just gave up on the theater. I think that's what it was. It was social distancing in the 1918s. They decided nobody's going to the theater, so let's just put dead bodies there.
It makes sense. Like they probably put the body in every chair then, right? my
just set them up like they're watching it.
Yeah. And like
I'm going to make a play.
As messed as this may sound, and if anybody's listening from that area, I am sorry, but so did they notice like any activities or
as in like ghosts?
Yeah, like
insane amounts.
Probably like the hundreds of people that were like sitting on those pews, right?
Yeah, one of them was they got on recording. They named her Elizabeth, but they have on recording somebody saying, "How do I get out of here?"
Wow. Like
full sentence.
I literally have like hairs going up my neck right now just hearing this. That wow. I mean, if you were in that type of situation, what would you do? Like,
well, if I was dead, probably nothing.
No. Duh, but I'm saying like if you heard that, like would you be like, "Oh, crap."
Dude, if I heard they were taking him down to the theater, I would not be a fan of the theater anymore. For sure.
I can only imagine, but I got another one here for you. Or is that
No. Again, if nobody's realized, we're looking these up as we go.
So apparently, a place down in Dayton, Ohio, called the Stivers School for the Arts. Apparently, that's haunted. I've actually personally never heard of this place, but apparently, it was apparently it's a school for the arts. It's in the Dayton Public School District, and I guess there's like some 900 students who graduated there. And I guess it began operations in 1908, but its haunted history seems to stem from like a mysterious murder that happened in the school's basement pool in 1920. And so I'm wondering, like, with all these haunted, like these movies that we see today are probably based on these type of like haunted histories and all that stuff.
I'm like, yeah, murders happening in the school basement.
School basement.
Here's the deal: is I think my school that I went to was built in like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even put a basement in.
Yeah, I don't believe my school had a basement either. And I'm almost confident that there was like an episode on Are You Afraid of the Dark with this exact same school basement murder scene here. But
that's a very eerie place, is the school basement.
That has a pool, apparently.
Every time you see it in a movie, anything. Wait, it had a pool?
Yeah, so it says that that they found a teacher named Mary Tyler who was found dead in the pool with like a hand broken and like something like their hand was broken, and was like reportedly involved with the senior student at the time of her death. So apparently they had like some sort of intercourse.
Nice.
My assumption. But he disappeared after her body was found and was never seen again.
Who would have thought?
But yeah, like apparently reported like Tyler's ghostly figure levitating in the abandoned pool and floating about the lower levels in a network of like tunnels buried beneath the school. Now that's really creepy. So not only they had a pool, but they have tunnels in this said like basement of the school.
This is why they don't put basements in schools anymore,
No,
ladies and
they
gentlemen.
probably don't. But apparently students have also reported like odd occurrences in the classroom where the pool was, including like disappearing objects, changes in temperature, flickering lights, according to stories by this mysterious heartland.com. Apparently, like a local writer sensed that she found something strange when she visited. Quote, shivers gave off a distinctly weird vibe, and not only was I looking down on the bowels of the old swimming pool where Mary was found dead, but throughout the school. Yeah, that's apparently that's like some creepy stuff right there.
Is that school still there?
It is. Apparently it is. Because I guess like local paranormal experts have like been there several times. But again, this is called
Only school in Ohio that still has a basement.
with a pool.
With
and tunnels.
Yeah. God, when the architect was designing that, he said somebody's gonna get killed here.
It's called Stivers School for the Arts. They didn't even name the school after her after that. That's crazy.
All right, so the next one I found, it's in a place called Hanoverton, Ohio. Yeah. So before I tell you what it's called, in 1837, it was built. It was a tavern and inn, and a lot of U.S. presidents went there. Like it says, a handful of U.S. presidents frequented it. All right. This place is called the Spread Eagle Tavern.
Spread Eagle Tavern. Hello.
So, the question is, why was Mr. President there?
That's a very valid question. Very valid.
I believe. Sorry, Eddie. I need to go to Hanoverton to stay at the local inn.
The local inn.
The Spread Eagle Tavern.
But he wasn't going there, obviously, for like the haunted history. Or was it?
It's a good excuse, I guess. So, there it's 3 stories, and a woman hung herself in the 3rd story.
And
that's who it's haunted by.
This lady.
Mm-hmm.
Just being yanked. Like, ugh.
So while you're enjoying the Spread Eagle Tavern,
I would
and
say
all of the things they may or may not do there.
I would say something really disturbing about the hanging and the spread eagle, but I'm not. I'm gonna let that go.
Well, can you be spread eagle when you're hanging?
I guess you got a point. That's valid. That's valid also.
So it's haunted. So if you don't go there for the festivities, at least stay for the ghosts.
I hear it's a 5-star rating hotel too, right? This was a bed and breakfast, right?
Yeah, I've not checked their Google reviews, to be honest with you. I didn't know that was part of this.
That's crazy. So she hung herself on the 3rd floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Third level.
What's the top one?
Does it specify if it was like a room or is it just somewhere on the 3rd floor?
It was a room, yeah.
Okay.
Probably in front of one of the presidents.
Of course. Why not? But what does it say? Like, it's obviously, you said it's haunted by her, like okay, gotcha.
So yeah, the name drew me to it.
The name, interesting.
For sure.
Well, I got one here local again. Mera Lake. We all know that's part of like Ohio, Ohio State culture. But apparently it's also haunted. Apparently it's a popular haunt for both current students and a few spirits of those past. Apparently there are several particular entities known as linger, known to linger at the site. One known as, quote, Lady of the Lake. Kind of like Poseidon, Lady at the Lake. Maybe it's a mermaid. I don't know.
It's probably not a mermaid.
No, probably not. It's probably like some poor old student like getting encrusted with like jumping in the Mera Lake.
Skinny dipping.
But apparently, the Lady of the Lake, the widowed wife of an OSU professor who has been seen gliding across the water during late night and early morning hours. That, or maybe students were probably drunk seeing this happen. I don't know. But apparently, again, late at night, early morning hours, other spirits include a student who drowned there in 1960 and is also said to still be heard screaming and splashing in the water. Apparently, a jogger who was also killed near the area can also reportedly be still seen running while looking over his shoulder and creating a cold breeze as he passes.
So there's just like a kid freaking out in the water and a runner going by.
You
go, ooh, I'm cold. Help that kid.
Pretty much. Apparently there's also like the Harrison House Bed and Breakfast that's also here in Columbus. Apparently it's in the Victorian Village, which me personally, I don't really know where that is. I think it's like Grandview area-ish, I believe. But apparently, like the other one, it's a 3-story house. Currently operates as a bed and breakfast. Throughout the history, residents have come and gone in high turnover rate, possibly because the home's reportedly hauntings. Apparently,
and it might not be a good place to run a bed and breakfast.
Probably not either.
If that's the constant business structure there.
Oh, geez, that could be. But and this also continues. Like that, apparently they hear unexplained sounds and smells, doors that open on their own, and essentially body shape individuals that are there in empty bedrooms. Encounters have also included like sightings of that sort. And apparently there's a young boy, a cigarette smoking old man, and just believed to be there like while guests are present. But that's some crazy stuff right there.
It's a lot of things going on that people have seen.
And there's probably many more.
Assume a lot of people staying at the bed and breakfast. You get good and drunk. You go down by the lake, feel the breeze, see the runner, see the kid drowning, see the woman walking across the lake.
It
makes for a good night, right?
Sounds beautiful, man.
It's just, if you were looking for a nice hideaway with your lover, may I suggest?
But honestly, I think that's a wrap. Like I
got one more.
Oh, you got one more.
I got one more that I found, and this one is actually pretty crazy.
All right, I'm ready.
So there was. Let me get the address real quick. All right, it looks like it's in Vermilion, Vermilion, Ohio. I didn't even know there was a town of Vermilion. That's a pretty cool name.
Vermilion, Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where it is, but anyways, go on.
So it's probably one of the worst little stories. So there was a place called Light of Hope.
Okay, sounds like something from True Blood, honestly.
Yeah. So there was a I'm not gonna give it away from the beginning.
Okay.
But there was a building called Light of Hope, place opened by Johann Sprunger and his wife Katharina. And they moved from Indiana, after their buildings caught fire.
So it seems like bad luck just follows them around.
Yeah. So they opened up this place, looked like in the late 1800s from what I could read here. And they opened up the Light of Hope Orphanage.
Okay.
So started housing a bunch of children there. After they had been there a few years, surprise, surprise, it caught on fire.
What? So this is insurance fraud from one state to another, right?
Yeah. So a whole orphanage burned down, called the Light of Hope, mind you. And then in 1909, an investigation. But because the state had no laws or regulations pertaining to orphanages, nothing could be done to prosecute the couple.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. I say that there's no actual proof that any deaths occurred. Probably because they were all
fraud.
Orphans.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got you.
Children that nobody was looking for. But say if you go, it's called the Gore Orphanage now.
The Gore Orphanage.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't take much to hear a bunch of children screams there.
That is creepy. That's pretty creepy.
So an insurance fraud scam coming from Indiana to Ohio.
So don't trust those Hoosiers.
And nothing happened to the owners, who were not harmed
in any way. That is crazy. But I believe I think that's a wrap. Like that's an episode.
We'll go with it.
Is there any final thoughts from you, Turtle?
No, I mean, we just randomly looked up some haunted places in Ohio. Go check them out. Leave them in the comments if you've been there. Let us know what we didn't get right.
But anyways, again, thanks for tuning in. You guys stay cool.